Ruth with
Hi,
American Income. We spoke over the phone a little while ago.
Hi, come on in.
Nice to see you here. Thank you. Do I need to take off my shoes?
Oh, no, you're fine.
You want the hatch left open then?
Sure.
Outstanding. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Can't complain. It's Friday. You know how that goes.
Yep.
It's been a long week, I'm sure, for you as well.
Yes, it has.
We did talk on the phone. You're with Union 154, if I remember right?
Yes.
Awesome. What do you do actually at your place?
I'm a factory worker. I work on an assembly line, stand on my feet 8 hours a day.
Ooh, I hope you get good shoes for
I
holding
do.
up for all that, not on hard concrete. Yeah, you go with a lot of Winston Churchill quotes, or is that your only one that you
That's
like?
the only one.
That's the
Yep.
only one? Well, that's interesting. Yeah, when we were talking on the phone, where's your daughter? Is she out playing now?
Yes,
you said about?
she's actually with a friend of mine. They're having a play date.
Oh, that's fun. How old is she again?
5.
5. Wow. Age to get into enough trouble then, right?
Yes.
Well, as I said over the phone, I'm with American Income. We handle the permanent benefits for over 41,000 organizations internationally, including police officers, teachers, and firefighters. Is this the first time that somebody's brought these benefits to your attention?
Yes.
Outstanding. So my job is relatively simple here. What I'm going to go over is, because you requested these benefits, we're going to provide you with the Child Safe Kit for your daughter. We're going to go over your family information guide, and I'll explain that in a little bit. We're going to go over your AD&D benefits through the union,
Okay.
and I'm going to fill out the officer's report form for you
Okay.
as well. Okay. Report. Most importantly, what I'm going to be going over is the other benefits they asked us to set up for you for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. So, one of the first ones on it is your family information guide, as I just said about. And what this is basically a roadmap for you. Let me rephrase that. A roadmap of you for your family. So basically for your little girl. So when you pass away, and it's going to make a little bit of a terrible time for her, a little bit easier to handle, so she'll know what to do. You're already going to address this here, and we're going to fill that out together.
Great.
And we do have a pen for you this time. I do remember my pen. Sometimes, you forget those things. The next one is your $4,000 accidental death and dismemberment policy. Okay, this is both a living and a death benefit for you. Let's say you were in an accident, you lost the use of one of your feet or a hand or the sight of one eye. It'll pay out half the amount, so $2,000 for you.
Okay.
If you were to lose any combination of two, say 2 hands or 2 feet, it's going to pay out the full amount now to you.
Okay.
Most importantly, if you were to die due to an accident, it's going to pay out the full amount to your beneficiary.
Okay. Great.
All you need to do to designate your beneficiary and sign and date here.
Okay.
Right. The next benefit is is really cool. Because you requested this service, they're gifting you $30,000 worth of the $2,000 accidental death. Not accidental death, that was this one. $2,000 worth of your union final expense benefits.
Okay.
Okay. You can gift this away to your close friends and family in the area.
Great.
Okay. It doesn't cost you or them anything.
Awesome.
It's going to be it's a no cost. The union's already taking care of this for you. And the reason that they're doing this is because they've learned that 9 times out of 10, when something happens to anyone, it's normally a close friend and family that has to get together and pay for their funeral and final expenses. So this kind of takes care of that. Now there's a few stipulations, of course. You're able to gift them away, but they have to be over the age of 18. They must live in the area, which is a relatively broad statement, I know, but we'll get into that. Live in the area, and they can only help out 1 per household.
Okay.
So we're going to first help out your family first, and we want to do that now with my computer and get some names off of you.
Okay.
So if I can ask, as my computer's loading up for you, I'm going to be having you send some text messages out. So if your phone's not with you now, if you can go and get that for me, please.
Okay.
And a list of all your friends and families that you'd really like to help gift this away to
Okay.
is going to be helpful. So if you can start thinking of who you want to do, and if I could, Rhonda, I just want to have you check over once I type in to make sure that I have your last name spelled right, because I will admit it, I am a terrible speller. And I also need to get off of you your birthday.
January 16th, 1992.
16th, 1992. Okay, and do I have your first and last name spelled correctly?
Yes.
And just have you verify that? Awesome. So I'm not as bad at spelling anymore as I thought I was. Okay. Now we do have a few videos that we're going to be watching through this presentation, and I need to unmute my sound for that.
American Income Life.
This one is a little bit about American income, just to get you familiar with
Do we
us.
have to watch all these videos?
Claim
Or
our
can we...
status as a
Some of them,
100%
skipping some of them.
union label company. From the representatives in the field who write an application, to the administrative staff in the home office, all the way up to the president and CEO, everything is done under the union label. And we wouldn't have it any other way. From the beginning, we have operated in the spirit of be union, buy union. Wherever and whenever there is an opportunity to further the cause of labor, we are the first in line.
And I want to thank American Income Life for the role that
So we
you
can just
play
fast forward through
as
this.
part
If you'd like to, we can. That's not a
I
problem.
mean, I think for time we should.
The first couple of ones are just a matter of who we are, and this one is a recruiting opportunity. If you'd ever like to
Okay.
join our team, we would love to have you aboard. We also have an office over in Tracy that if you'd like to donate a perishable good to help out for other families in needs, we can
Okay.
do that for you and help. The next benefit, I believe we've already talked about, is our group AD&D, which is what we're gifting out now, which is why I asked you to get your phone and all that.
Okay.
We have the Child Safe Kit video for all that we will be playing through.
Okay.
Okay? So,
Due to the value, overwhelming need,
This is the group
housing
AD&D?
response for these
no,
no-cost
this is
benefits.
actually the rest of your no-cost benefits. Remember I said there are going to be other benefits that they asked us to set up.
Sponsor friends, family, co-workers, and neighbors to receive similar benefits at no cost. Most families are eager to share these valuable benefits.
Which video
Who
was
would you
this?
like to sponsor
This is the
first?
one that just gives you a little bit of an information to a lead in for us about the extra no-cost benefits that your
And
union
you
set
got
up
to
for
that
us.
one by clicking on the.
Just going through
Okay.
the screen. Nothing out of the ordinary. No voodoo magic here. Just all pretty simple.
Okay. So
So the first one we want to help out. Like I said, is your family first. We always want to take
Okay.
care of your family first, and we want to try
okay.
and
So go ahead and put in my sister Paula
your sister.
and Paula Smith.
Smith, okay.
So would you put Union up here or no?
I'm going
Okay.
to put it in your local
Okay.
organization.
And then the phone number is 555 555 5555. And the best time to call is in the morning.
In the morning, okay. And she lives in what city?
Tracy.
Tracy? Okay, cool. Whoops. I told you, I'm not that great speller, not that great. And your union was Teamsters again, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
I know I have it on the paper from your letter that we already
Okay.
printed out earlier.
Okay.
We'll be going over that here momentarily, so I don't have to keep asking you, but I'd rather just ask you sometime.
That's okay.
There we go. I knew I had that letter handy. So that's the one that you should have seen from your union meetings.
Okay.
If you haven't seen it or haven't gone over, been at any of the meetings lately, don't worry about it.
All
I'm
right.
here to take care of you.
Okay, I'll take a
So
look at that.
any of the benefits that they covered there, if you missed the last meeting or whatever, don't worry about it.
Okay.
We're going to go over it now, so it doesn't matter if you were there or not.
Okay. So that's the only referral I have.
Sure, we don't have anybody else that you'd like at. What about your
That's it.
coworkers?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Does Paula have any children? That
No.
way we know to get for a child safe kit or an AD.
No, they're all grown.
They're all grown?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll put her down for that. Alrighty. Now what I'm going to ask you to do is with your phone in the next few days, I'm going to be calling Paula and letting her know and going over the policy for her because it's good for her to understand what's going on. She's being referred. Don't want any time a surprise coming up somewhere.
Okay.
So before we get moving forward, I'd like you to text Paula. I've got a text to forward
Okay.
to you that she will know then to expect my phone call in the future and know I'm going to be coming over and set an appointment up that we can get together and talk. Do you know how to forward a text?
Yes.
Awesome, great. So I'm going to send you one. When you get that done, let me know and we can go from there.
Okay, great.
Alrighty. So now as we continue on, see the computer's very helpful.
Since birth,
Gives me a little
you've
bit.
spent each day preparing for the
Okay.
future.
We can just
Each milestone the result of hard work and planning.
Okay.
But have you prepared financially for the
This is
inevitable?
to introduce you into our life insurance, which is where we're going to be going in.
Okay.
Now,
great.
as you know, benefits over the years have gotten worse and worse, leaving many families out in the cold and doing without a lot of the benefits that they need. Through the Police Association, they have gone out and found, with the help from families like you, and from the Police Association teachers, AIL has developed a series of questionnaires and concerns that have to be addressed. And in order to gather all the information, there's a few questions as we're going over I'm going to have to ask you to make sure we get everything that you deserve and need for your benefits.
Okay.
And the whole point, what we want to make sure is we're covering is we're getting a complete coverage for your family, a full circle of protection for your family.
Okay.
Now, the first concern has to do with savings. Now, Rhonda, do you know what you're supposed to be saving?
No, I don't.
Most financial advisors would recommend that you save between 10 and 20% every time you get paid and have 6 months worth of your income set aside for an emergencies.
Okay.
Now, Rhonda, how many people do you think are actually in this day and age, with money as tight as it is, saving
Not
10 to
very
20%?
many. No.
I'm just saying. Now, with that in mind, they created a policy to help. How are you doing personally on the savings?
Not too well.
I hear you. It's hard. So if the company could set something up and help you in saving over a long period of time, you would obviously be all over this, right?
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Love to hear it. The next concern has to do with, I've lost my terminology, deductibles, wages, health insurance. Now,
Okay.
do you have health insurance, Rhonda?
Yes, I do.
Awesome. Now, Rhonda, if you're injured and you have to go to the hospital, who does your health insurance actually pay? Does it pay you or the doctors and hospitals?
Doctors and hospitals. Yes.
Of course, exactly. That's how health insurances work, to make sure that they get paid. But now, if you've been in an accident or you're injured and you're in a hospital laid up for a couple of weeks, it doesn't do you much good to just have the health insurance and the doctors getting paid. Because don't you still have a mortgage or rent? Don't you still have your car insurance, utility bills, and food to be put on the table?
Yes.
So they've set up a program to help you with money for that as a second source of income while you're laid up in the hospital,
Great.
so that you're not missing out as those bills are coming in. You can still pay like a second source of income.
Okay.
Okay. The next one is one a lot of people don't like talking about, but it really has to, and it goes back to what I was referring to earlier with your family information guide. This is funeral and final expenses. Now, the way this works, we have a setup with the Freedom of Choice certificate, which I'm going to pull out for you now, so you actually get your hands on it and get to see it.
Okay.
Is the way this works is the Freedom of Choice certificate. You will have this put out, and your beneficiary, when you pass away, will be able to take this to the funeral home, hand it to them, and they will take care of everything.
Okay.
Any
great.
money that would be left over will go back to your family, in
Awesome.
case that there is. We recommend that you keep this in the same place with this folder, and a place that your beneficiary is going to know where it's at to take care of when that time comes.
Okay.
My grandfather himself had something similar to this set up. Thankfully, I at least knew where it was, because stressful time someone passes
Right,
away,
right.
and everybody's worried about it. I at least knew where my grandfather had all this stuff, and when
Cool.
everybody's worried about the bills, he said, wait, Pop-Up's already taking care of this for all of us.
Yeah.
All you have to do is go in and take it to, I forget now the name of the funeral home.
Nice. Yeah.
So, in that regards, because most funeral homes, they want their money right away. I mean, when would you want to get paid if you were a
Right
funeral
away.
director?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So this takes care of out the whole latency period, waiting for the life insurance to come in. Everything's covered under this freedom of choice certificate.
Great.
Okay? So we're going to be going out and filling this out here in a little bit.
Okay.
The next benefit that we're going to go over has to do with loss of income and wages. As I said, we have for when you're laid up in the hospital for the health insurance. We also have for a lost income, because when you would pass away, if it would be due to an accident, say tomorrow or something like that, your little girl's obviously going to miss you.
Right.
But after a few months, few weeks, whoever you've designated as a caretaker is also going to be missing that money that was coming in from your paycheck.
Right.
Because when you pass away, your paycheck's going to die with you.
Yes.
So that's where the program comes in, takes care of having that extra set of money coming in to take care of, so your daughter can still live the life that you had intended for her to live.
Right.
Okay? Now the next concern has to do, again, another subject that people don't like talking about is cancer.
Okay.
I'm sure you've known someone who's dealt with cancer.
Yes. Yes.
It's pretty prevalent. Who was it?
My father.
I'm so sorry. How is he doing now?
He's passed.
I'm so sorry to hear that. I know how it is. I've had friends and family in my past themselves. Some have been able to beat it, but not all. The odds of it happening are so high. According to the American Cancer Societies, for men, it is 1 out of every 2 men that will come down with cancer in their lifetime.
Wow.
For women, it is 1 out of every 3 that is going to be coming down with it. Until the age of 65, then the statistics actually go the same as men, as 1 out of every 2.
Okay.
So cancer basically boils down to the flip of a coin.
Yeah.
Everyone has nothing more than a 50-50 chance of whether you were going to come down with cancer or not,
Right.
sadly to say. On that note, do you know what the #1 cause for bankruptcy is in the U.S. today?
Probably medical bills.
You're exactly right there. Because when you have cancer or other injuries, and you're going through chemotherapy, radiation treatment, your own special dieting, are you actually going to be able to work at that point?
No.
In a lot of cases, you can't. So you understand how important it is to protect this for the future and for your family, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Now, so far, everything I've told you is a lot of sobering thinking. But the last concern kind of ties up everything to me. It wouldn't matter for anything if this was unaffordable. So the
Right.
biggest concern is going to always come down to being cost. So the company already went out and compared company to company for you to find out what was the best rates we could get you already, so we could keep this affordable for you.
Great.
Because these are your benefits, and we want to make sure that you can afford them.
Right. Great.
Okay? So, kind of transitioning a little bit back. Going to hold you up here and there a little bit, but I do need to get I know you said it over the phone, and I do apologize, but I do need you to spell me your daughter's first name again, please.
Mary, M-A-R-Y.
M-A-R-Y, awesome,
and
thank
then
you.
Smith.
I'm sorry, where did we get that from?
And we can just go down the phone because we have a lot of time here.
Okay, and, all right,
You don't wanna
that was a new
close the
one for
doors.
my computer on that. And Mary's birthday is?
September 16th, 2000. Should have made me 10.
Had them young, huh?
Okay, so, and then at the bottom.
Okay. So as I said, we're going to have a few more questions to make sure that I didn't get anything
Okay.
wrong when we were talking earlier, especially when we talked over the phone.
Okay.
Have you ever been, in the last 2 years, have you been diagnosed with cancer, breast
No.
cancer, colon, or anything like that? Okay,
no
great.
cancer, no diabetes.
No diabetic? Awesome. No heart problems
No.
that we need to worry about?
No
Great.
to all those, actually.
Awesome. That's we're on our way. Now we got to get a little bit more
No
personal.
probation, no DUI.
Good. Love that. Monthly take-home pay. Rough estimate.
5,000.
5,000. Okay. Okay. And do you have any life insurance through your particular work?
No.
Okay. Do you have any already whole life or term life that maybe your parents put you on from a younger
No.
age? No?
No,
Okay.
no.
Now this lovely home that you have here, are you renting here or you
I
own
own
this?
it.
You own it? Okay. Again, just my computer. You gotta love computers when they don't want to work right. Okay.
You got it. Yeah, there you go.
There we go. Now she wants to work right. There we go.
And it's
Your mortgage, how much do you have left roughly?
150,000.
150,000 you have left? And how many years do you have on paying?
20.
20 years left? Okay. Now, as we said before
I don't-
about saving, anything for your little girl's college education
No.
yet? No? Not to worry. We can take care of it. And you did tell me once before over the phone, but you deal with checking or savings account?
Checking.
Checking? Awesome. It's easy that this day and age, a lot of people that they're getting away from using checkbooks, but it's personally it's still my way, but I was raised old school and I keep it checking account. That's what I'm used to. But I get it. Some people are doing the more modern technology, and I feel like I'm way behind on that.
Well, you're not alone there.
Oh, all right. Okay, now this is a quick memo about the insurance program being offered to you today. This is a volunteer basis through you, the Corporation of the Union, an American Income Life Insurance Company, and a 100% union label company with a long-standing history of serving union members and their families.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I read it. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, now we do have a few more things to go over that is going to kind of slow me up a little bit because I got some writing to do.
Okay.
Okay, now first off, your take-home pay for the week,
5,000.
Five-
And that's for the month. So.
for the month, so 1,250 for the week because we're just going to use the 4-week month. We're not going to worry about those ones that have 5 in there.
The warmth of
Okay.
family is one of the most
Okay,
beautiful
okay.
and valued things in life.
Okay, we go to the end. Okay, now here's what you have of existing coverage now.
Okay.
This is what
I know.
American Income recommends.
Okay.
So since you don't already have any, that's why the amount is $30,000 for whole life.
Okay.
And so I'm just going to put this down here on. Actually, I grabbed. I do apologize for that. I actually grabbed the wrong form out there. That's actually the one for when your daughter's a little older and going to be getting out for her children, or you would be getting out for her children, I should say. But okay, so this is your family benefits option. We're going to set up and show versus what you have now versus what you can have in the future. Okay,
Okay.
so we're going to write this $30,000 now. No, because this is what we're offering.
It's what?
What we're offering you is what I'm going to be writing down.
That's the amount. Okay.
That's the amount of coverage. This will make a little bit more sense here in a little bit
Okay.
as we keep going through. Okay, monthly income protection, as I said, some of the other benefits that we
Your
entitled to.
pension is the economic heartbeat of your family.
Okay.
It pays you.
So, at a time. Okay, so now everything's going to stay on the top line is always what we've already covered, and the bottom is the next one. So it's recommending for term life, it would be about 300,000.
Okay. 5 years.
Exactly. Yep, for a 5-year recommendation. Okay, now since you own the home, the other benefit I forgot to mention, I'm going to pause this here for a second. The other concern I forgot to mention beforehand, and I do apologize for that, is mortgage protection that we offer for it. And we kind of get into it a little bit. Because when you pass away, and maybe I did already cover this, correct me if I'm wrong. When you pass away, what do you have already in place to cover
Oh,
the existing of the loan?
Nothing. Yeah.
That's what this mortgage protection is, and we have a little bit of a video to explain it a little bit better than I can.
Okay.
To go through and explain that if you would pass away, it won't leave the debt behind for your little girl. It'll take care of everything and wipe away for all that.
And you can just go fast forward through all that.
I'm hoping to, yeah. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So for mortgage protection, we're going to explain this because you have 0 right now, you said? because of what's left on your mortgage, you need $150,000, so that's what we're going to do. Okay. Ooh, you get the spinning wheel. That always makes me nervous. All right, so now we're going to get into a summary of your benefits. And go through here. Do apologize for this brand new computer. I'm still learning the quirks on it. So a few more. Okay. Oh, Mary, if you give me 1 second, I need to bring this up.
Remember, this isn't homework, so this is just a ribbon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my
Okay.
premium? Okay.
So, going to, if you bear with me, I have a little bit of mathematics to do here on this. And because I want to make sure that I'm telling you right numbers and not giving you anything off.
So you're gonna divide that by 4?
Yep. Go 0.83 divided by 4.
Okay.
And then we're going to go do.
Oh, I see.
9. Again, I could probably do this all in my head, but I'd rather make sure I'm giving you 100% accurate numbers for this. So, Mary, as we said, with the company, they're giving you the option between 2 jobs. Job A, which is where you're currently at with all your existing benefits, which is right here.
Okay.
Bring home $1,258 a week. I'm sorry, not $1,200. Yeah, $1,250 a week. I did say that right. I don't know why I kind of worried about misspeaking with myself. Job B is what we're going to call it. Is you have all these existing benefits.
Okay.
You're basically going to make the same amount of money, which is this here, what you would be bringing home now.
Okay.
Plus all these other benefits that we've gone over now.
Okay.
So which would you choose?
Job B.
Job B. Why would you choose job B when job A, you're obviously making more money?
Well, I get all these benefits.
Right. What's most important to you in this world? And me too.
My family.
Exactly. We never want to go and sacrifice our family's future for a lifestyle today, right?
Right.
We want to make sure that whatever could happen, they're still protected. And the only real shock they're going to face is the shock of losing you.
Right.
Everything else, we're going to try and make sure that they're as comfortable as what we had envisioned if we were still there with them. So, as long as this makes sense to you, I'm not an underwriter, but based on what I'm seeing, we should be able to get you qualified, no problem.
Okay.
Submit. So there's a few more things I'm going to have to go through. Most importantly, we're coming down to the wire of more personal information for your social security number we're going to need. And if I can get you to get that ready for me.
Okay.
Your driver's license. And I'm going to need your checkbook so I can get the routing number, the bank, and all that information filled out properly, all right?
Okay.
And if I can borrow your letter back so I have for your union,
And
I'm going to because I'm going to make her see that we're signing this.
okay.
Okay, Mary, again, where were you born at? Were you born here in California?
Tracy, California.
Okay, good. And your height?
And yeah, okay. So let's just skip all that. This is not that. We're fill this out. We finished filling this out.
Right.
Yeah, just,
Okay. So, if this makes sense all to you, we're good to go. I'm going to have you sign where you need to, if you will, and all it's going to be is going to have you click on the box and ask you to type your name, and it will then e-sign for you.
Okay.
You're ready to go.
Okay.
Awesome. And sadly, we got a few more pages. I'll let you
Yeah, I was
sign
going
this
to
one.
ask us to go through all the health insurance.
So that's basically everything. And within a few days, or I'm sorry, within a few weeks, do you have any objections or concerns?
Well, I do have to think about it.
I can understand that. Before we get going too far, I'm the exact same way. You don't want to rush into anything too soon. But let's at least get your foot in the door. If the numbers aren't comfortable for you here now, this is your enrollment period, as what the letter said. So if you're not quite comfortable about it, let's make these adjustments, whatever we have to get you comfortable with the cost, so that we can at least get you started.
Okay. I still need to think about it.
Fair enough. I hope you understand. Like I said, today is the enrollment period, and we need to at least get you started in the foot in the door. These are your benefits. You have full control over this. So what can we do to make this more comfortable for you?
Well, honestly, I can't afford it.
I can understand that concept and that fear. It's so hard to make ends meet today. Everybody's living paycheck to paycheck. But think of it this way. All through your life, you've always made adjustments. You've had to change some things with it. Taxes go up from time to time. Look at this as just another tax that went up. Uncle Sam raised his tax rate. You've made it before, as you always have. And with this adjustment, you can still make it as well. Please don't forego your family's future just because of today. You're here now. You can make these adjustments. But if an accident would happen tomorrow and you're no longer here to make the adjustment for your little girl, without these benefits, what life is she going to have next?
Okay, well, I really think I have enough insurance.
I can understand that completely. I mean, if you had $100,000 or $150,000 worth of insurance, that would seem like a lot of money. In fact, if we were to stack that on this table right here, I don't know exactly how high up it would go, but it would definitely give the illusion of a lot of money. I'll give you a little story to make this personal and real for you. My father was injured when I was a little kid. He got a settlement for $50,000. We thought that was a lot of money. In reality, that was only 1 year's salary for my dad, a little bit more at the time. Now let's say you're making $40,000. If you were to have a lump sum of $200,000 and you're making $40,000 a year, that's basically only 5 years, right?
Yes.
So if something would have happened, let me hold up on myself a little bit there. How much over the last 5 years do you have of that
Not very much.
200,000?
Yeah, not very much.
So if something would have happened to you 5 years ago, where would your little girl be now?
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's never a matter of having too much insurance. It's always a matter of comfortability and affordability.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.